different factoring methods we've done so far. So yesterday we learned how to factor a 3-term trinomial into a pair of binomials. The second method you learned today, called the cheater method, will be very similar to that. It's going to have 1 or 2 extra steps. First factoring method we learned how to do is the GCF method, and that's taking a piece out of every piece, 1 piece, the same piece out of every term. That can be 2 terms, 3 terms, 4 terms. Then we learned the difference of squares, which was x squared minus 25, the perfect squares, which always factor into their opposite, x plus 5, x minus 5. All right, difference of squares is always 2 terms. 4-term problems that don't have a GCF. So as I look at this first one, is there a term? Is there a number that goes into 25, 20, 10, and 8? No. The only numbers that go into 25 are 1, 5, and 25, and 5 doesn't go into 8. So we can't use that. And as far as GCF, there is not an X in every term, so we can't do that. So the other option for 4-term problems is called the grouping method. And what that allows us to do, the grouping method says, cut your problem in half, split it right here, and do the GCF of the first 2 terms, and do the GCF of the last 2 terms. So see if you can find out what the GCF is of these 2. Do that, and see if you can find the GCF of the last 2 terms. So go ahead and look for those while I take attendance. All right. So if I look at the first 2 terms, what is the GCF of 25 and 20?
5.
5. Okay. What is the GCF of x to the 3rd and x to the 2nd? This once again goes back to Tuesday's lesson.
2.
X squared. Yep, x squared. So what I want you to do right now, I want you to factor out the GCF from the first half. But before we do that, let's also work on the back half here. What is the GCF of 10 and 8? What number can go into both 10 and 8?
2.
2. Now, the first term has an x, but the second one doesn't, so we're not going to put a variable on this one. So this is a good review from Tuesday. Now, what I want you to do, I want you to write this, bring this plus sign down. I want you to go 2 right here and then go parentheses. So now take a minute and factor out 5x squared from these first 2 terms, Tuesday review, and factor 2 out of those 2 terms. Give you about a minute to do that. All right. So ask yourself, what times 5x squared, what would I distribute what would go here to here in order to get a 25x to the third?
5.
5. And then what about a variable?
Just x.
Just x. Because remember, what do these two exponents have to do? They have to add up to 3. You shouldn't write the 1 there. You don't have to. You can. But 2 plus 1 adds up to 3. All right. What do I do to 5x squared to get a negative 20x squared in the second term if I were to distribute? How about Micaiah?
4.
4. Yep. Minus 4. All right. Now I'm going to go to the second half. This one's going to go a little bit faster since we don't have a variable. 2 times what gives me 10? 5x. 2 times what will give me a negative 8? A negative 4. Now, as you look at this, what do you notice about the front half and the back half?
They're the same.
They're the same. If it works out that they're the same, we can factor this. We can continue. So what we do is we say, okay, here's the front, here's the back, and now the GCF for the whole problem is the 5x minus 4. So just watch this. Don't freak out. So what you're allowed to do is to go 5x minus 4, and then take each piece's front half and combine them. So now my second set of parentheses is going to be 5x squared plus 2. Everybody see that? Any questions? Once again, the main purpose of this is to teach us how to find x-intercepts, which we'll do a little bit of next trimester. But this is a skill you're going to need if you're going to continue into IB applications and Algebra 3 and pre-calculus. We're not hitting as hard as we normally do in a normal school year, but it's a skill we got to have. Okay, before I erase this, one last chance. Any questions on this?
So did you just combine the numbers on the last step? Or did you just...
You combine these two pieces together, and they're going to make one term together.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to give you guys one to do. Yeah, it's going to be 1B here. Yeah. Let's go 25y to the third. Minus 35y squared. Minus 20y plus 28. Now this one's going to be a touch different because of the negative sign here. You'll have to work your way through that. Hopefully you can figure that out. You guys try this one.
Mr. Leonard, what's the first number? There's a glare on my screen.
Oh my goodness. 25y to the third.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Anybody need more time on this one? Okay. This one has some similarities to the other one. I changed the letters intentionally. 25 and 35. Most of you are going to realize that's 5 is our GCF. Just like the last one, we had y squared here as our GCF. 5y squared. Now, this one, I said I made it similar to the other one, but a little bit different. What is the GCF of 20 and 28?
4.
It's 4, yep. Now, we're going to take this negative. We're going to keep it here. But that's going to affect what's inside here. We got to be really careful with signs. So as I go to do this one, 5 times what will give me 25? We got y. Just like the last one, y squared times y to the first. 2 plus 1 adds up to 3. This time we have a minus 7 instead of, I think we had a 4 last time. We get 7 right here. Now here's where I got to be careful with signs. What times negative 4 will give me a negative 20? Positive 5y. Right here is where I get a lot of mistakes. People go, oh, plus 7. All right? I need to get a positive 28 here. So I need to take a negative 4 times a negative 7. And if you screw up, what you'll notice is if you put a plus 7 here, that it doesn't match. In order to use the grouping, these two have to match. So if you made that mistake and wrote plus 7, you'll pretty quickly realize, hey, something's not right here. Is everybody good so far? Okay. Now we look at this and go, okay, 2 5y minus 7s. That would be the first part of our answer. Then I'm going to take my 5y squareds and my minus 4 and make a new grouping of that. Everybody okay here? Any questions?
No.
Okay. I'm not going to do another one like this, but I'm going to show you something you might see and give you one tip. Okay? You could see something where they start using multiple letters. So, for example, I'm only going to do like the first half here. Let's say we have a 14x squared y minus 21x. Okay? So as I look at this, I got 2 letters now. And I just have to treat everything, I use my same rules here. So my GCF of 14 and 21 is 7. Okay? Now as I look at my letters, I have an x squared and an x. I'm like, okay, I have an x in both, but the smallest one is x to the first. That was our rule. Okay? Now as I look at the y's, there's a y in this one, but no y in that one. So there's no y in our GCF. So as I go to factor this, I would get 7x parentheses. I'd say, okay, 7 times 2, x times x would give me x squared, but I also need to put in the y that's there. So I have to double check my answer. 7 times 2 is 14. X to the first times x to the first is x to the second. And then y is there. If I look at the back half, there is no y, so I don't have to worry about a y. I just have to take 7 times negative 3 in both. Okay. So be aware you might see more than one letter. Okay, everybody good? Second type of problem is called the cheater method. Okay, what I'd like you to do right now is do a practice problem from yesterday. Let's go. quick warm up on this. Let's go x squared minus 7x plus 12. Let's just go over our rules. See if you guys can do this one. Hopefully it just takes you about a minute. All right. So I have to pick one pair here, x plus, x minus, and x plus, x minus. Who remembers which one it's going to be for this problem?
X minus, X minus.
Yep. So if the last sign was addition, it was either x plus, or x minus, because they have to be the same sign in order to get that. And you looked at the first one. So x minus. Okay. Then we took our number 12 here, and this is the only work you have to show me. This is going to be your answer. The only work you have to show me on the test and on your homework are the factors of 12. 1 and 12. 2 times 6. 3 times 4. And once you get down to this, hey, there's no numbers left between 3 and 4. I know I'm done. How am I going to get a negative 7? Negative 3 and negative 4. Okay. Negative 3 plus negative 4 is negative 7. That's what we wanted. And negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. You don't have to do this. I'm just explaining why we got that as our answer. Is everybody good? Okay. So what we're going to have different today, it's going to be the same type of problem, except there's going to be a number in front of here. 2, a 5. All right? I'm going to show you a method that's way easier than what I learned in school. I actually got it from a fellow college student, and we call it the cheater method because you're actually breaking mathematical rules on here. So don't share this with anybody. Don't tell your mom that I'm teaching you how to cheat, okay? No cheating, but you can cheat on this kind of problem. Everybody ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm teaching you how to cheat. This is the one time where you're allowed to cheat in math class. First example, 2x squared plus 19x plus 24. Now, don't write down what I'm going to show you what to do here, okay? Don't write this down. I'm going to show you what I had to do old school way. No, I'll wait for the next one, okay? Now, this is called the cheater method. You're going to take, yesterday when I rolled up on the board, I had x squared plus bx plus c. Well, now I'm going to put an a up here. Ax squared plus bx plus c. What you're going to do today, in your first step, is you're going to multiply a times c. 2, you're going to factor just like you did yesterday. And then 3, you're going to go back and divide by a. You want to write down your steps here. This is a times c. Factor, divide by a.
Mr. Larry, can you move the camera a little bit to the left?
You got it, buddy.
Thank you.
How's that?
That's way better.
All right, you guys ready for me to move on this?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So here's what you're going to do. This is where you're breaking the rules. You can't do this in math. You can't just make up a new math problem. But we're gonna cheat. We're gonna take 2 and we're gonna move them over here. We're gonna multiply. We're gonna get x squared plus 19x plus 48. You just cheated. You just broke the rules. You good? And I've been teaching this for like 20 years this way, and nobody in the Park Math department knew about it until 5 years ago when I shared it, and now they all use it. Well, most of them. All right, everybody good here? So now, do what you did yesterday. Factor this. Do your factors of 48. All right, the only bad part about here is this number is a little bit bigger than most of them, but you can still do this problem. Do exactly what you did yesterday. Anybody need more time? Okay. Signs. Plus. Hey, they got to be the same. Plus, plus, or minus, minus. Look at that guy. Hey, plus, plus. X plus, X plus. Factors of 48. Always, I'll just do them all. Start with 1. 1 times 48. Calculator. 48 divided by 2 is 24. Calculator. 48 divided by 3. 16, I believe. Yeah. 48 divided by 4 in my calculator. I get a 12. 48 divided by 5. Oh, that's a decimal. That didn't work. 6. 48 divided by 6 in the calculator. I get an 8. Now I'm down to just the number 7. 5 didn't work. 7 doesn't work. Okay. How am I going to get a 19 out of those 5 pairs?
3 and 16.
3 and 16. All right. Very good. You're almost done. You have 1 step, kind of 2 step left. You broke the rules of math. You were a bad, bad person. You took 2 times 24. So now we got to ask for forgiveness. Hey, I'm sorry. I screwed up. I broke the rules. Now you're going to go back and divide by that number you multiplied by. Okay? So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to divide by 2 here and here. Okay? This makes up for your cheating. It's the opposite of multiplying. It's dividing. So this one over here, I get a nice whole number. I get x plus 8. Pretty good? All right? Now, you're going to get fractions, and sometimes you're going to be able to reduce them. So don't write this down. Say I got 10 over 15. You'll be able to reduce some of them, 2/3, whatever. This one doesn't reduce. So all you have to do then is take your 2 and move it to the front. And your final answer will be 2x plus 3. Is everybody good?
Yeah.
All right. Now, if you wanted to check your work, you don't have to do this. I would FOIL quickly. Don't do this if you don't want to. 2x times x, 2x squared. 2x times 3, 16x. 3 times x, 3x. 3 times 8, 24. I get 2x squared plus 19x plus 24. Boom. All right. Now, can I erase this, or we still get, or still people writing? All right. All right, I'm gonna have you guys do one. But before I had you started, I want to explain to you why it stinks so bad the way I was taught. So when I went to high school, a long time ago, this is what we had to do. Okay? Don't write this down. Don't do this because this is miserable. And we would still say, okay, what are our signs going to be if I have a minus right here? Second sign's a minus. What are my signs?
Plus, minus.
Plus, minus. God, they smeared up the board. Okay. We're going to have plus, minus. Now, what I had to do when I was in high school, when our teachers taught us, when I got to college, what they taught us in college, same thing at UMD, is you write out your factor pairs of 15. Don't write this down. This is way dumb. 1 and 15, 2 doesn't work, 3 and 5, 4 doesn't work. Then we write our factor pairs of 8. And we go 1 and 8, 2 and 4, 3 doesn't work. And what we would have to do, what they would tell us to do, is to plug these numbers in and practice foiling them out. So, for example, I might do 1 and 15, 1x, and maybe 1 and 8, plus 1 times 15x minus 8. Foil all that out. Did I get this as an answer? No, that didn't work. Then I would try, okay, let's try 1x minus 1 times 15x minus plus 8. And you foil it all out. It didn't work. Crap. Well, then maybe the 1's go with the 2 and the 4. And we do 1x plus 2 times 15x minus 4. Crap. Foil it out. Didn't work. And then we go 1x minus 2. We would have like 800 different combinations. You just have to guess and check till you got it. So don't do the old way. Have I convinced you my way is better?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, don't do that. Yuck. Old school. Okay. So you guys try this one. Hey guys, what's 15 times 8?
120.
120. Good job. Just giving you guys a head start if you hadn't got that far. Okay. Go ahead and finish this one if you haven't already. All right, anybody need more time? All right. Like I said, the only downfall of this is sometimes this number gets bigger, but as long as you have a calculator to try dividing your numbers into, it should be okay. Minus sign here. What does that tell me for signs?
Minus.
Plus minus. All right. And then here's the one part that's a little tricky. We got to go 120. We start with 1. 1 and 120. Some you can do 2 in your head. 120 divided by 2 is 60. Okay, maybe you need to go to your calculator. 120 divided by 3 is 40. Maybe do that in your head. Well, if it's 4 times 30. Wow, look at all these options. 5 goes into 120 how many times? 24? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. 24, 6 and 20. 7 doesn't work. 8 and 120.
Yeah.
8 times
15.
15. 9 work? Nope. 9 doesn't work. 10 and 12. 11 doesn't work. All right. So now opposite signs, how are you going to get a 14? This one has a lot of pairs. Boom. Opposite signs, one positive, one negative. Okay, because they're opposite signs, you'll be subtracting. How are you going to get a 14? If you subtract these two is 2. Subtract these two is 7. 20 minus 6 is 14.
Yeah.
Right? So which one is the positive? Which one's the negative? If you want a positive 14,
The positive is 20.
positive 20, negative is 6. So double check your work. Add up to 14, multiply to negative 120. Be good? All right. Now we were bad people. We were bad. We took 15 times 8. We're not proud of that, so we're going to go back and divide by 15. Here and here. Got to remember to go back and divide. Biggest mistake is people leave that as their final answer. They don't go back and divide. 20 over 15, does that reduce?
Yeah.
Yep. I can divide them each by 5. I'll get 4 over 3. All right. 6 and 15 can both be divided by 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get 2 over 5. And then the last final step, I know we get a little long, is to move these numbers to the front. 3x plus 4 and 5x minus 2. All right. Does anybody need it? One more of these? I got one more if you want to do it.
No, I'm good.
Anybody else?
All good here.
All right. Turn my recording off.